Okay, Bob, I will let you introduce yourself and go right ahead.
Great. Well, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Bob Braun. I am with the Bureau of Workers' Compensation. I am what's known as a Regional Business Development Manager. That's a long-winded title for someone that does a lot of outreach to our employer population. We have two sets of customers at the Bureau, and one is employers. They pay the premiums that provide all the services and all the benefits to employees who are injured. And then the second constituency that we have primarily is our injured workers. So, and I work on the employer side, work with employers across the southern half of the state to help develop our programming, encourage their participation, and hopefully that helps them reduce some of their costs, reduce some of their injuries, and create safer workplaces. And today I'm talking about a long-winded title to a new program we have called Substance Use Recovery and Workplace Safety Program. And so when I start talking about SUR, that's what I'm talking about. So I shorten it to Substance Use Recovery Program. And again, I kind of use the word SUR. So if you hear that, that's me using my acronyms to talk about this program. I appreciate Athens-Hocking-Vinton for giving me a little bit of time to spend with you. And really what I want to do is, number one, introduce the program to you, to talk a little bit about the benefits of the program, and then just field any questions you've got. And then finally, just to put in a plug for, as you are working with employers in your area, in your 3 counties, that this program, I would hope, would be one of the items that you're able to talk to the employers on. And because the more that we can get enrolled in the program, the better. So again, I appreciate your time, and I'm going to respect your time, and I'm going to dive right in. The SUR program started actually about 2 years ago as a pilot in Montgomery, Ross, and Scioto counties. And in mid 2019 to late 2019, we decided that we were going to start expanding it across the state. And we do that on a county by county basis with the local alcohol and drug addiction boards. So we form a partnership with the local board. And then once that board has signed their contract with us, agreeing to be a partner, it's available to all the employers in those particular counties. So in the case of Athens-Hocking-Vinton, we just partnered with them about a month ago, and we're just starting to do some outreach to employers in the area. So we're really excited to be here. I think we have now 17 boards across the state who are signed on out of the 51 boards that are in the state, and roughly 35 to 36 counties are participating in the program. So what is SUR? For those of you who are familiar with BWC, you know that you may know that we have a long-standing program called the Drug-Free Safety Program. This is a complementary program to DFSP. It's separate but complementary, and we've kind of built some of the benefits around what's offered in DFSP. Roberta, I saw you shaking your head, or nodding your head. Are you in the DFSP?
We are.
Okay, perfect. So you're familiar with the things that you're required to do as part of that program, have a workplace policy in force, do employee training, and things like that. And as a participant in that, if you fulfill all the requirements, you know that you get a back-end rebate for that program, either 4% or 7%, depending on the level you're at. What SUR does is allows you to recover some of those costs that you're paying for the policy development, you're paying for the training for your employees and supervisors. SUR allows you to recover those costs on the front end. So not only are you able to qualify for a rebate on the back end for doing all that stuff, what SUR allows you to do is get reimbursed for the cost of some of those things. And what we're trying to do through this program and the drug-free program, frankly, but in particular this program, is really encourage employers to develop stronger workplace cultures around the substance use issue. And we do that by reimbursing some of their financial costs and mitigating some of those costs. But the second way we do that is by connecting you with the local ADAMH board. And that's where the partnership with AHV comes in, is so important, is that they're providing you as an employer all the connections you need with local providers and local service organizations that are going to help you if and when you have an employee that falls into an addiction or a recovery issue. Ultimately, our goal is that as an employer, you see fit to do your best to retain employees who are struggling with addiction and going through the recovery process. And we're trying to develop stronger cultures for all employers around that. And the AHV board is the provider of those services, or the connection to the provider of those services. So that's what we're trying to do. So just to reiterate, we're going to mitigate some of your financial costs up front, and we're going to connect you with AHV so you can utilize the services of local providers. Does that make sense? Good. So let me talk about the five benefits in the program. I'm going to share the screen with my make sure I got the right one here. Excuse me. All right. Give me a thumbs up if you can see this screen. Okay. And is it large enough that you can see it well enough? Okay. So the SUR program has 4 financial benefits and one what I call soft benefit. And right along the left-hand side in the narrative in this particular document, you'll see the 4 things that we're going to reimburse you for. So the first one is for the development and legal review of your workplace substance use policy. And so what we'll do, even if you already have a workplace policy, if you simply want to send it through for another review with one of the vendors that we do business with, we will reimburse you the first time through up to $2,000 for the cost of that review. And then if you want to add a legal review to that, we'll reimburse you up to $500 for the legal portion of that review. So it's really a matter of just making sure you're comfortable with your workplace policy. If it hasn't been looked at in quite a while, you can work with a vendor to have them take a look at it, make suggested changes, and implement the policy that you want for your particular workplace. So even if you have an existing workplace policy, and I assume as a drug-free employer, Rebecca, that you know that you already have one in place, if you want to have that taken, have another look taken at that, we'll reimburse you the first time through $2,000, $500 for the legal review, and then annually thereafter, we'll reimburse you for an annual review up to $1,000 for the policy review and $500 for the legal review. So this is what I call the foundation to everything for this program, and the drug-free program is a really strong, effective workplace policy. And so I really encourage employers to take advantage of this particular benefit first. And then the other thing I want to kind of emphasize too is this is a reimbursement basis. So you have to incur the cost first and then share the invoice, the paid invoice with us. So that's benefit number 1. The second benefit is training for your employees. And we obviously you're working with vendors to have your employees trained. We will pay up to $300 per hour, up to 72 hours a year for employers. And that's for employee training. And that's a lot of hours. And we haven't had any employers utilize that many, but it's really designed for to accommodate some of the larger manufacturing employers and some of the larger kind of construction employers that might have multiple shifts and crews all over the place. But you can get up to $300 an hour for 72 hours of employee training. That benefit total is about $21,600. And then the third benefit, it works exactly the same way. And this is your supervisor training. So again, we'll reimburse up to $300 an hour for the employer, for the supervisor training, up to 72 hours, up to $21,600. So those are the first 3 benefits. And then the last financial benefit is for drug testing for your employees. And there's one little catch to this piece. The drug testing that we'll reimburse for is for any employee that certifies that they are in recovery. So this benefit has been particularly useful for employers that make have made a business decision that they're going to try to bring in second chance employees, either from the outside or when they have an employee that they know is going through recovery that employee is willing to attest that they're in recovery, we'll pay for the drug testing for that particular employee basically forever. Whatever type of drug testing it is, could be random, could be post-accident, could be pre-hire, could be confirmatory, whatever drug testing on that employee, once they certify that they're in recovery, we pay for all the drug testing for that employee. And the way they certify is to write a note that they submit to the ADAM-H board that says, I, Bob Braun, certify that I'm in recovery. That's as simple as it has to be. There's not a form or anything. And then the key part of that is that the board is taking possession of that attestation. We are not, BWC is not, and we don't want to, because we don't want it to become a public record. We want to maintain that confidentiality, and the board helps us maintain that confidentiality. So, and then the second thing is that once they attest they're in recovery, we consider them to be in recovery for as long as they work for you. That's just the nature of recovery and relapse and the things that individuals go through. So that drug testing basically lasts forever, and whatever type that you wish to have for that particular employee. So before I go on to the last benefit, I guess I just wanted to open up to any questions from anybody. And that was kind of a lot in a short period of time, but what kind of questions did these four things raise? Okay. So the last benefit is what I call a soft benefit, and it's called Better You, Better Ohio. I'm going to bring this document up. Tell me if you see something that says getting paid for getting healthy. Okay. So Better You, Better Ohio is actually a standalone program, but we incorporated it into the SUR program last year. And this is a fully robust health and wellness program. So if you're familiar with how health and wellness programs work, it starts with a biometric screen or a physician review, includes a health risk assessment, includes financial rewards. So we pay employees who go through the biometric and the health risk assessment, we give them a $75 gift card for doing that. We provide access to nurse coaching, both online and over the phone. And then we provide a portal that they can access either through the web or on their mobile device, where they can access a bunch of health resources, health challenges, and things like that. It's fully paid for by the Bureau. There's no cost to the employer at all. All we ask of the employer is that they kind of help encourage the enrollment by the employee, but there's zero cost on the part of the employer and zero administration on part of the employer's part as well. We simply are trying to develop again a culture where employees live into a healthier lifestyles, and we want to help them develop those healthy lifestyles. The benefit to us is that we know that when employees are healthy, they have less injuries. And if they do have an injury, they're usually back on the job quicker. And that's why we introduced this a couple of years ago. So those are the 5 benefits to the program. You've got, again, just to reiterate, the drug-free workplace policy review and development, employee training, supervisor training, drug testing for employees who are in recovery, and then access to Better You, Better Ohio. Again, we're really excited about introducing this program. Let me just describe a couple what I call key features to this in terms of the employer experience with this, with SUR. First of all, unlike drug-free safety program, there are no reporting or administrative requirements. The only thing you have to do to access these benefits to get reimbursed is to fill out the reimbursement form and provide the paid invoices and the documents. So for instance, if you did an employee training, you're already familiar with providing the curriculum, you're familiar with getting the attendance logs, and you pay for that, and the vendor provides you a paid invoice. That's the only thing you need to do in terms of getting reimbursed for this. There's no back-end reporting, no midterm reporting, nothing. We simply want you to access these as easily as possible. The enrollment piece takes less than 2 minutes. It's online. I will send everyone a link to that when we're done here, but it's literally a 2 to 3 minute process to get enrolled. And if you do enroll, it doesn't obligate you to any timeframes or even obligate you to utilize the services. You utilize these services when you see fit and when it makes sense to you. And then that kind of leads to the third thing, which is this is a cafeteria style plan. So you can utilize one of the benefits, or you can utilize all of them, or somewhere in between. So if all you wanted to do was get your workplace policy reviewed, and don't worry about training and not worry about the drug testing, you can do that. If you wanted to do all 4 financial benefits, you could do that too. It's really up to you. And again, there's no time frame for utilizing it. There's no deadlines like you have the March deadline on drug-free program. This program is fully funded. It's going to be fully funded into the next biennium in terms of our budget. And whenever you feel like you're ready to submit the receipts to us and get the reimbursements, that's when you submit it. So really administrative free, really easy to use, easy to enroll, no obligations, and a great complement to the drug-free safety program. And lastly, I'm available for you. I'm gonna flip up my bio because it's got my email address and my telephone number. I can help you enroll. I can help you with access to the resources. I can help you with Better You, Better Ohio on that. And I work closely with the board here to make sure that we're we're helping all the employers with their needs on this particular program. So Savannah and I we'll work closely together to make sure your experience is really good. So that is the quick and dirty on the SUR program, and I'm going to open it up for questions now. And you can either type them in, or if you have some questions, then just open up your mic, and I'll be glad to answer your questions.
Hey, Bob.
Yes.
When someone signs up, do you send them a list of the resources and trainers at that time, or where do they access that?
Yeah, what I typically do when I get a new enrollee is within a day. First of all, I'll let you know that you've got a new employer in your area. So if you have any outreach processes that you want to take advantage of with the particular employer, to let them know who you are and develop that relationship, you'll know within a day. And then what I typically do is I reach out to the employer within the day as well, and I try to set up a quick 15-minute overview of the program, just kind of like today, only a little bit more detail to let them know what they have to do to access the services. There's a few little processes that they have to complete in terms of, they have to use a vendor in our drug-free safety program vendor directory. I send them that link so they're aware of who they can utilize for these services. And I go into a few more details. And if they want to do Better You, Better Ohio, I walk through that program in more detail. But I generally will reach out to the employer and try to set up a virtual meeting, either by phone or by video. So we establish that relationship and I let them know exactly where they need to go for everything. And that includes sending them a pre-filled copy of the reimbursement form, so they've got that at their hands too. Good question.
Bob, thank you for your presentation. My name is Reggie Robinson, and I'm the community coordinator with Health Recovery Services. And if my name sounds familiar, it's because I'm a vendor. Okay, I'm an Ohio certified prevention consultant, and I've been a drug-free workplace technical assistance provider for over 25 years. So all the things, I'm really excited about the program. It's going to help employers to implement the drug-free safety program or recoup some of their costs for it. And I just want to let anyone know that's interested in the drug-free safety program that I'm, qualified to review your. Now I can't give the legal review of your policy because I'm not a lawyer and I don't even play one on TV. But I can do the initial review and make sure that it meets all the BWC guidelines, and then you run it by your legal people. And I can provide the employee education, supervisor training, and all that. So I just wanted to say again, thank you for the presentation. Exciting program, and I thank the board for having the vision and foresight to make this available to our employers. I'm going to put my contact information in the chat just in case anybody wants to contact me further.
Great. Yeah, and Reggie, thank you for being a vendor. And that's one thing I want to emphasize too, is that for all of these services, except for Better You, Better Ohio, to access the reimbursements, you do need to use the organizations that are listed in our drug-free vendor directory. It's an extensive directory. And then many of the vendors, like Reggie's, do the whole range of services. Some just do drug testing, some just do policy review, but by and large, most of them do the entire range of services. They're all really good, really well qualified. They've been great partners in the drug-free safety program. And Reggie, what I would say to you is if you've got employers that you think might be interested, I would encourage you to promote the program or send your employers my way. The only employers that don't qualify for this program are our self-insured employers, and those generally tend to be the real large employers. Think like Amazon, Kroger's, and those kind of organizations. They're self-insured, so they don't pay into the fund that funds this particular program. So, but about 99% of our employers will qualify for this program. So thank you for that. I appreciate you checking in on that.
Hey,
Other
Bob, I'm
questions?
Nancy Dotson, and I'm the Director of Human Resources for Health Recovery Services. So I work with Reggie as well. So he typically provides our drug-free workplace training as an employee of our agency. How would that work for us?
Well, you cannot, from a conflict of interest standpoint, you can't collect a reimbursement for training yourself. So what you may want to do, I had a couple of situations that address this in some other counties. The first was we had some counties that had multiple entities, some employers like you that had multiple entities. So we had one of the entities would train the other entity, and that's acceptable because there's an arm's length transaction there. The other way that I've seen it done is have a cooperative agreement with another vendor where you're providing their training, they're providing your training, and that creates that arm's length transaction as well. But what we try to avoid is having you do your own training and paying you for the training you did. That's a bridge too far in terms of using public funds.
Okay.
That makes
thanks.
sense. Yeah.
Okay, I have questions on the Better Ohio program. Is there a time frame for participation?
No. You can enroll whenever you want, and once you're enrolled, you're in, and then you can take advantage of the services when it's convenient for you. We fund this on a state budgets, as most of you know, are biennial budgets, so they're 2-year budgets, and we fund this program on a 2-year basis. The existing program, the existing budget is going through the approval process through the legislature right now. We believe with about 99% certainty that this money will be included in that. I never say that, say 100% because I'm not a legislator and I'm not the governor and I don't sign the budget, but we've requested funding and it's going to be in there. I can tell you it's going to be in there. So once that money is in, and there's money in the current budget through the end of June, there'll be money from July 1st of 2021 through June 30th, 2023. And once that money's in there, it's available to you to take advantage whenever you want. You don't have to re-register. You don't have to sign up every year. Once you're eligible and enrolled, you're eligible and enrolled forever.
Excellent. And does the employer have to sign in for this, or can the employees do it free from the employer?
So this program, the SUR program, is an employer registration. So the employer does the registering, and then when they want to utilize the services, they'll work with you, the board, to get reimbursed after they get their documents from the vendor. Now, Better You, Better Ohio is a little bit different. Better You, Better Ohio is an employee-driven program. And what I like to do with the employer, if they express an interest in the program, is to work with them to help enroll their employees. But the employees are doing the enrolling themselves because there's health information they provide and demographic information they provide that is kept confidential with the company that's running that program for us, which is called Active Health, and they're a subsidiary of Anthem. So because there's HIPAA and there's health information that the employee provides, and Active Health maintains that information. But that program is a program where the employee will sign up directly, and I can walk the employer through how all that can work and how we can make that work really effectively for their organization.
Thank you.
Other questions? And Roberta, I think I called you Rebecca one time, so I apologize about that.
That's okay.
Okay. Svea, did you have anything you wanted to wrap up with?
I don't think there's anything else. Roberta and Nancy, you've heard the information, so hopefully you'll be able to share all of this with your staff and the Better You, Better Ohio. Hopefully your employees will take advantage of that. We can send you the flyer that Bob had on that if you want to include it like with your payroll or something for your employees.
I think we're already in that program and actively sending it out to our employees.
Great, wonderful.
Active in drug-free or this?
Better You, Better Ohio.
Okay. Yeah, good.
I'd like to be able to send a flyer out with our newsletter.
Yeah, an updated flyer would be great. I mean, I think anytime we can encourage our team to be healthier, it's important.
Excellent.
Thanks for sending that.
Okay, I don't have anything else other than to thank you, Bob, for coming and talking and allowing us to record this for other people to contact you and take advantage of these resources.
Great. Thank you again for your time, and feel free to reach out to me anytime. And if you've got employers that you're working with and you want to set up some sort of conference like this, I'm happy to do that as well. But I'm available to you anytime that you need me as a resource on the program.
Thank you. Thanks,
you.
everyone.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.